So, if you're following along, thank you. I appreciate your intentionality, your decision to work on yourself and to do what it takes. So, here we are. It's day 10. Oh gosh. Okay, so I'm going to start with the slide that I have to talk about. And I'm going to go over that just a little bit because I've got all the words there. You can read. You don't need to hear all of it from me again. But it is important that when you have a goal, that you have set realistic expectations on yourself and that you have your big goal, your bigger dream, your big goal, your action plan, your logic is all enveloped in this, and what your work breakdown structure, your list of tasks are, and still you miss the goal. It can be pretty depressing. It can kind of gut you sometimes, when you're just like, I wanted it so bad. I wanted it so bad. But the question is, are you one of the people who give up? Or do you just like, whatever, didn't get it this time, I'll get it next time? Now, realistically, there are a lot more who give up. And I've been that person a lot. But I've also been the tenacious person, thus the team named the Truly Tenacious Tribe. But one thing that I really want to be your big takeaway from this 10-day event, if nothing else sticks. Did you hear me when I said, the end of the month comes, the end of the event, the end of the whatever. When it comes time to measure your wins and losses, it's that moment of truth, and you don't make it. And I said, you failed to hit your goal. Do you hear what I said? Because, and this is where my woo-woo side comes in, because I am certain that is why I made it so easy to give up everything I've given up without a fight in my life. The things you say to yourself matter. They matter more than you realize, unless you already understand all of this. But they matter more than you'll ever realize, probably. Though you're here, so now you're listening. But if you fail to meet your goal, you've just said, why bother? You've already failed. So here's a couple things I really need you to hear. One, when I use the word goal, that's that thing just short of the dream, right? There's the dream, the goal, the action plan, and then all of the tasks. Within the WBS or the action plan, you've got a lot of other goals and tasks and different, subsets of other goals, right? So I don't know if you picked up on it, but usually I will use the word target, because a target is something that is short term and you hit it or you miss it. If you miss it, it's moved on. It's like if you're, have you seen those shows where like people will ride a horse and they're riding this course on a horse and shooting targets? When they miss that target that they've already passed by, they don't give a crap about that one. They may go, as they're riding by it, but instantly they're looking at the next target because that one's already lost. But it's not their goal. Their goal is up here. That doesn't change. Now, if you have a come to yourself kind of, internal discussion where you're like, do I even want this? Am I going to do what it takes to get it? Do I need to change my goal? Do I need to change my targets? What do I need to change? And when you have that conversation with yourself, that's when you can say, that target was not that important to me, and that's why I missed it. I maybe took it for granted, maybe whatever. Figure it out after the fact. Don't linger with it, but give it the concern, the thoughtfulness that it's due, so that you don't repeat it. But let it go, because that target isn't anything as big as your future, your goals. So use the words when you will. I missed my target. You know what? When I tell myself I missed my target, I'm a little pissed. I'm like, I should have hit it. I should have hit it. God, it would have been so easy if I had just done this. And hindsight's 20/20. After you've missed it, it's easier to see what you could have done differently. But learn from that and immediately go into the next target. Leave that goal where it is, because that goal is where your heart is, and you have your why. Don't give up because of the words you're using. Understand that a monthly target, because we all use the word monthly goal. A monthly target is just a target. If you miss it, go out the next target and double up. Do whatever it takes. But that's one thing that I really want you to take home. If nothing else, never give up on yourself because you were simply thinking about something in a slightly askew way, because you really can change everything in your future with just some minor alterations. Now, if that sounds too woo-woo for you, I used to be the one who I actually made fun of someone. I showed up at a free event like this, and I was messaging my friend who brought me into it for free, and I'm like, this is so much BS. And I was just like, this is crazy. This girl is whack, and I laugh at myself now because I didn't know. And so when I used the word, this is why I didn't like her. Because I used the word badass in a description of myself, and she said that I shouldn't use the word badass because it's actually it says bad, and that I am telling myself that I'm bad. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't know even today, with what I know, that I would pick it badass. I still think that it's a word that I think my subconscious understands what I mean, and I think I don't know. I may have to do some more research and dig into that, but I still am not offended by the word badass. But now, though, I recognize when I told myself for 30 years, I just can't do it. I'm not made for this. Some of these people are good. I can't do it. I suck. This isn't worth it. This is too hard. All those things that, especially when you miss your target at the end of the month, that start to bubble up, and you may either get a little bit mad or a little bit sad or just frustrated. Those emotions are normal, but one of the best things that you can do with it is channel them to figure out what you could have done differently that would have had a better outcome. You should be glad that you had that experience, that you learned how to do something. You know what I mean. And I know this sounds lame because I hear it coming out of my mouth, and I'm like, oh my God, there's going to be someone on the other side of the camera who says, oh, this chick is an idiot. But I promise you, if you hold on to gratitude instead of anger or frustration or self-loathing, that's one of our big ones. We don't think that we hate ourselves, but it's one of the biggest issues that I think the world has, is we don't recognize the good in ourselves, but we sure do recognize the bad. So let's work on that. I don't know if you're going to hit your goal. I sure hope you do. I just said goal. Let's say I was talking about that one, but I actually misspoke. I'll be honest. I didn't say it right. But I hope that you hit your target. If you do hit your target, the good thing, if you use the horse visual, is you just start stringing them together, because once you get the momentum, and it becomes almost like muscle memory then. So don't beat yourself up if you miss a target, but if you hit it, just keep that momentum going.